As you saw at the top, Donald Trump had a warning tonight. President Obama is trying to take your guns away. The facts, though, somewhat different. Just 2 days before a 360 town hall on the subject, the president laid out a series of executive actions, including tightening the loophole that allows certain firearm purchases without background checks at gun shows. Here's an extended clip from the emotional event.
Our right to peaceful assembly. That right was robbed from moviegoers in Aurora and Lafayette. Our unalienable right to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, those rights were stripped from college kids in Blacksburg and Santa Barbara and from high schoolers at Columbine and from first graders in Newtown. First graders. And from every family who never imagined that their loved one would be taken from our lives by a bullet from a gun. Every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad. And by the way, it happens on the streets of Chicago every day.
Just to underscore, President Obama today did not call for taking any guns away from any law-abiding citizens. However, there's not much that he could have said that would go over well at a Trump rally, as our Randy Kay discovered.
There's an assault on the Second Amendment. You know, Obama's going to do an executive order and really knock the hell out of it.
When Donald Trump tells supporters President Obama is attacking their Second Amendment and that he's going to take away their guns, they believe him.
Do you fear that President Obama is coming for your guns?
I do believe that is his main objective, yes.
Do you think the president is looking to take away your guns?
Yes.
You don't believe it when the president says he's not coming for your guns?
Of course not. I don't believe that one bit.
Hats, shirts, scarves, and flags.
We caught up with these Trump supporters, many of them gun owners, at this rally in Claremont, New Hampshire, just hours after the president laid out his new requirements for gun sellers and buyers, which include expanded background checks.
Anyone who can legally buy a gun now will still be able to legally buy a gun. So what's the problem with greater background checks?
But I think you just made the case, if you think about it. If they're already covered, why make another regulation to say what's already being said? Bad guys are going to get control of guns because they're going to do things that are illegal. All that this is doing is punishing good people for what bad people do.
And despite the president saying this to calm fears,
this is not a plot to take away everybody's guns.
many we spoke with here are considering buying up guns before the laws get any tougher, like this woman.
I think if he tries to take away our guns, that he's basically breaking the law. It's our Second Amendment right. We have every right to protect ourselves.
And while we found a few in the crowd who don't mind the tougher background checks, they still don't believe it will make any difference.
What would make America safe, what would really make America safe, would be to take the guns away from the criminals, not the law-abiding citizens. I'm not the problem. I'm a good guy with a gun, not a bad guy with a gun.
But wouldn't extra background and extra controls do that?
Wouldn't it be great if they just enforced the laws that are currently on the books?
30,000 people a year die from gun violence, so what's the answer?
Well, I don't believe making more laws to make it harder to get guns is going to do anything for that. Like I said, if the criminals out there that want guns are going to get them one way or another.
Trump supporters are confident if he makes it to the Oval Office, one strike with a pen and Mr. Obama's gun regulations are history.
Trump is right in identifying that we need to address the problems of people who are making bad decisions and understand that guns are just a tool. And as Americans, we should have rights to all the tools we want, including guns.
And Randy joins us now from Donald Trump's New Hampshire rally. Was there anything there about the president's plan that anyone actually liked?
There were a couple things, Anderson. We spoke to some people as they were waiting in line, and they told me that they liked the idea that the president put forward today about being able to lock a gun remotely if it got into the wrong hands, if it was stolen. They also liked the idea he mentioned about somebody coming up with some sort of app where you could lock a gun again remotely if it got into a child's hands. The president, you heard him today saying a child can't open a bottle of aspirin. Why should they be able to fire a gun? But as much as they might like these ideas, the people I spoke with don't think they're feasible. They also think they're costly, and they certainly don't want that price tacked on to the price of a weapon. They also did like the idea of some background checks, these expanded background checks, but again, they always think that the criminals are going to be able to get around them. So bottom line, Anderson, there wasn't a whole lot of love for Obama's new regulations here, and certainly not a whole lot of confidence that they're going to be able to prevent the next mass shooting, Anderson.
Yeah, certainly a lot of suspicion there as well. Randy, thank you very much. Just ahead, gun sales are surging.
I'm the leading state sponsor of terrorism.